Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back for another DevPro Duel video. I'm still testing for Nationals, which are in a few weeks. So past week I've been testing out Tefnuits over Illusory Snatcher to see which one is the better card to support the rank 6 exceeds in Frogmonarchs. I came to the conclusion that Illusory Snatcher is a lot better than Tefnuit, for a few very important reasons, but I'll come back to those at the end of the video with the deck profile. Let's see some duels. My first opponent is playing Constellars. I believe I do get the start. My opening hand is pretty sweet. So again, opening with a swap is always the first thing that you need to hope to open with Frogmonarchs. So again, if my opponent is playing Fire Fist or Mermills, I don't want to give him the opportunity to attack with Bear or Marksman directly. So that's why I special summon the swap and special summon the Ronin from the grave to block those possible attacks. Not going for Gachi since I do have a few Treeborns left in the deck, so I don't want to get rid of my swap just yet. I know my opponent is playing Constellar, so Messier is not that live against Constellars outside that neutral draw. I can say they don't play cards like Turgat or Rabbit or something like that. So my turn, going to special summon the Treeborn, and I think just going to normal summon the Tribute Summon the Ryza, since I think that's the only play I can make, since I obviously cannot activate the enemy controller because he has the Omega on his field. He does have a Phoenix Chain, which is unfortunate. He's going to overlay for the Messier 7, which I think is not that good of not a good play against Frogs due to enemy controller, but it's his only possibility to get over the Ryza that turn. But as you see here, special summon the Treeborn and get activate the enemy controller in the standby phase to get his Messier 7. Immediately going to activate this Messier 7 to get back the Ryza. First, going to attack, just in case he has Torrential Tribute, since now I'm going to Tribute for Ryza. I think I should have Tributed my Treeborn and leave the Messier 7 on the field, and then if the Ryza goes through, then just overlay overlay the Messier 7 for Gaia Dragon from the extra deck. But yeah, it was null and void since he does have the Torrential Tribute. So my turn again, I draw into the Light and Darkness Dragon, and he only has one set back row. So I think this is the perfect opportunity to get that Light and Darkness Dragon into the field. So I'm going to special summon the swap and discard the Treeborn, special summon the Ronin, and immediately get that Light and Darkness Dragon into the field. So my opponent needs to needs to waste a lot of cards to get rid of it. As you see in his hand, he can't do anything to that Light and Darkness Dragon. I do have a Tefnuit in hand. You'll see it's one of the reasons why I prefer Illusory Snatcher over Tefnuit. Is that Illusory Snatcher is a lot more versatile than Tefnuit, since Snatcher can be dropped at any time. In comparison with Tefnuit, Tefnuit can only be special summoned if I have an empty field, and that's one of the downsides to it. So as you see, he does need to waste a lot of great cards like Dark Hole, Monster Reborn, and I believe it's called the Constellar Rebirth that he's able to activate. So he's just going to special summon the Sket, I believe it's called, and the Pollux. Then he's going to Exceed for Behave, yeah, indeed. And then he's going to attack over. No, he's not going to attack, which is the better move. To just leave the Light and Darkness Dragon on the field at 800 attack. But as you see here, I do have a Ryza in hand, so it only has 3000 life points left. So the Light and Darkness Dragon did his job by sealing the deal. But yeah, I still have that Tefnuit in hand, so during the duel I feel that Messier 7 could have been a lot better than in comparison with the Tefnuit. Alright, so the next duel, my opponent is playing Sabers. I think I get to start the duel, and I'm just going to pause since my 6th card will be the Gorse. Yeah. So I'm going to normal summon the swap, again a pretty sweet opening hand, opening with the swap again, the Gorse. Gorse alongside Light and Darkness Dragon is really nice, since you can drop the Light and Darkness Dragon early on by tributing the token and the Gorse, just in case if you don't have the Treeborn. He knows that I'm playing Frogmonarchs, but he's going ham by normal summon the Bogart Knight, special summon the Fool Helm, and special summon the Full Troll. I'm going to drop the Gorse on his Folterol since I'm left at a pretty comfortable amount of life points, 2400. Like that's not in Cowboy range, for example. He's going to Synchro Summon for the Sousa and activate the Folterol to special summon the full Hell Knight. So my plan here was to obviously activate the Heavy Storm on his back row. And then special summon the, obviously special summon the Treeborn and special summon the swap, discarding the swap and mill the Ronin Toad into the grave. Special summon the Ronin and tribute both Ronin and the Treeborn for Light and Darkness Dragon. Since then I would have had the a full token, a full attack Gorse and the Light and Darkness Dragon on the field to pretty much seal the deal. But it does have a compulsory, so I was thinking for a long time here which move should I make. And I think this was a better move to go for the Gachi and then tribute my last two monsters for Light and Darkness Dragon, since the Gachi will give the Light and Darkness Dragon an extra possible negation. I think it's called that way. So I'm able to attack over his Folterol, since that was the card that needs to get rid of the field, and I'm able to block his full Hell Knight's effect. So he does need to get rid of the Light and Darkness Dragon during his turn by activating or wasting another card. Sadly, he's able to attack over the Light and Darkness Dragon, so Gachi survives by detaching the Ronin, and special summon the Gorse to attack over his Sousa next turn. He does have a prison, but luckily I do have that MST. So again, here I can have a Tefnuit in hand, but let's say if I draw a Monarch now with the Treeborn engrave, I can't do anything with the Tefnuit. If the Tefnuit was a Messier 7, you will see in a moment, it would have been it would have been a lot better. I did not special summon the Treeborn during my turn, since if you're playing against Sabers, they do play full Hell Knight, and I don't want to give him the possibility to attack over the Treeborn and reborn another monster from his grave with the full Hell Knight. And as you saw, he does top deck into a full Hell Knight. So my turn again, special summon the Treeborn and drop the Testalos. So now you see here, if the Tefnuit would have been the Illusory Snatcher, I would have won the duel already. So again, this is one of the reasons why I don't like Tefnuit that much over the Snatcher, since it's still one of the big downsides of Tefnuit. Top deck another Testalos, so I'm going to discard this Mind Control, and there it is. So exceed for the Basilatris to banish his face down and attack for game. So both I think pretty sweet duels. Next, my opponent is playing Monarchs, and he told me in the chat that he was playing my build from last video with the Zaborg and the Illusory Snatcher. Luckily, I do win the die roll, the rock paper scissors game. I open with the swap, mill the Treeborn, and just end my turn. And if you're playing Frogmonarchs in the mirror match, the most important rule, or a golden rule, that you need to keep in mind is that you never leave your Treeborn or a Ronin wide open on the field, as you will see in a few turns. So my turn is able to attack for 1000, which is not that bad. So I'm going to special summon the Treeborn and tribute for Light and Darkness Dragon. And as you see, his opening hand was pretty nice, with the Econ, the Gorse, the swap, the Ryza, the Zaborg, so he has a lot of plays. Luckily I do hit the enemy controller with the Stalos, but yeah, sadly do attack into his Gorse. Luckily I did draw into the Battle Fader, since he's going to special summon his Treeborn and tribute for the Zaborg. And yeah, if I didn't draw into the Battle Fader, that would have already been the game. So I'm obviously going to special summon that Battle Fader to negate his attacks. Then my turn, special summon the Treeborn during the standby phase. I do draw into the Dark Hole, and was I was thinking if I should activate the Dark Hole or not, but yeah, I think activating the Dark Hole was a better play. So normal summon the swap, mill the Ronin and attack for 1000 damage. Don't fear the Gorse, since it's already in the grave, and then bounce the swap back to my hand. So again, this is the thing you want to do against Frogmonarchs if you're playing the mirror match. Just leave your field open, since they can't tribute for Ryza or Chaos. But as you see here, it does make the mistake by special summoning his Treeborn, and as you'll see in a moment, I'm able to special summon my Treeborn back in the standby phase and tribute it for Ryza to bounce back his Treeborn to the top of his deck. So that's already pretty much a dead draw on his part. So I'm going to bounce that Treeborn back to the top of his deck. It's not that bad, since it does have a swap in hand to get an extra special summon. So I'm going to activate, yeah, I'm going to attack directly. He does drop his Fader, which is also a questionable play. Yeah, you don't want to waste your Fader that quickly, since if I would have attacked, you would just leave at 2200 life points. He already decides to drop his Light and Darkness Dragon pretty soon, and that's also a very important tip if you're playing against a Frogmonarch mirror match. Keep your Light and Darkness Dragon as long as possible in your hand. Just drop your opponent really low on life points, like 4k or 3k or 4k, and then a Monarch alongside Light and Darkness Dragon pretty much always seals the deal, since your opponent won't expect it, and they'll keep their Faders, their Gores, and maybe Tragodia in hand. And by dropping that Light and Darkness Dragon next to a Monarch, you can just attack directly, since Light and Darkness Dragon does block Fader, Gores, and Track. So yeah, as you see here, I'm able to special summon the Treeborn, or activate the Treeborn 4 times, and my 5th time special summon it again. And then just going to Tribute for Chaos, banish the Light and Darkness Dragon, and attack for 2/4 directly. So he drops to 2 life points. So I'm thinking that I'm in a pretty comfortable position. And again, I do have the Tefnuit in hand. So if that Tefnuit would have been the Snatcher, it would have been much better. So as you see here, it did top deck into his Snatcher. Luckily, I do survive both his attacks, since I dropped to 800 life points. And he does make the correct play by going for the Exceed in main phase 2. Yeah, go for Bouncer in main phase 2 and not go for Messier 7. Also to ditch, or yeah, to negate my Monarch if I decide to drop it and deal 1000 damage. So I do have to activate my Soul Exchange, and I'm going to tribute both monsters for Light and Darkness Dragon. I'm obviously not going to normal summon it, just going to set it, since he does have a Treeborn in grave, and yeah, he will just burn the Light and Darkness Dragon to 800. Tribute his Treeborn and attack with Shinzo over the Light and Darkness Dragon, so that's why I just set it. Why did I special summon the Ronin in defense? I also did it because, just in case if he has a Ryza, he will always bounce my face down, thinking it's a Light and Darkness Dragon, and then the Ronin will block its attack, so still have the possibility to survive the turn. He makes the Gachi, but he knows that I have the Chaos in hand, so I'm going to normal summon, tribute summon the Chaos, flip over the Light and Darkness Dragon just in case he has cards like Battle Fader to negate the possible attack, and now I'm able to attack directly for game. So yeah, last tool I think from the video. I think it's, yeah, my opponent is playing like a monster mesh deck. You know, like the agents in combination with Gallus, a Gallus beast deck. He decides to start. He already opens with Venus, so I'm thinking here that he's just playing like the standard agents deck, standard agents. Immediately going to drop the Messier, don't want to give him more shine balls, or yeah, the possibility to special summon more shine balls from his deck. Finally, I'm able to special summon the Tefnuit and immediately tribute it for Chaos, targeting his Venus to banish the Venus, and yeah, don't give him the target for Hyperion in his turn if he does have an Hyperion. So that's Messier 7's effect, and I'm going to get back that Maxi, since at that moment I was thinking he was playing like a standard agent, so to block the tour guide, to block another Venus if he did have it in his hand. He does top deck into a tour guide. As you see, he does have an Honest in hand, which is pretty much, I think, is only out to Messier 7, outside, like, yeah, going for the Acid Golem if he does play Acid Golem, so he already needs to burn his Honest to get rid of the Messier 7. So, my turn again. I don't have a Treeborn in hand, so I obviously going to normal summon my swap and mill the Treeborn. I'm not going to attack over his Lila and activate my enemy controller. Like, I want to keep that enemy controller in hand to make more devastating plays, if you know what I mean. Like, activate the enemy controller instead of my face and tribute for Light and Darkness Dragon is much better than just wasting it on an attack. He does get lucky and mill the Cephalon with his Gallus, so that already deals a huge amount of damage. I'm going to keep the Fader in hand, and I'm just going to drop the Gores. Not going to wait on the Lila's attack, since I don't want to drop to a really low amount of life points, since that would leave me open to a possible honest play if it does top deck into a Reborn. My turn again, and I saw that he milled a Christia with his Lila mill, and I do top deck or draw into a Reborn, so I'm going to activate both enemy controllers to take over both his monsters. Special summon the yeah, special summon the Treeborn back to my side of the field. Monster Reborn his Christia to negate a possible Tragodia or Fader or Gorse from his part. And then tribute both my weakest monsters for Light and Darkness Dragon to just seal the deal. So yeah, I think the 4 duels in this video were pretty sweet, pretty okay. Yeah, to showcase the Tefnut engine versus the Illusory Snatcher engine. Alright, so let's see the deck list. I've made a few changes to fit in the Tefnut engine, and that brings me to the first reason why I think Snatcher is a lot better than Tefnut. The Tefnut engine takes up a lot of space in the deck, in the main deck, and Frogmonarchs already is a packed deck, and I don't want to go over 40 cards to keep it as consistent as possible. Another reason is that you need an empty field for Tefnut to be special summoned, and that leads to some strange plays like you don't return Treeborn and special summon the Tefnut and fall into a bottomless trap hole. It's random, but the fact that Tefnut needs an empty field hinders its possibilities a lot, and Snatcher on the other hand can be dropped at any time, which is why it's a lot more versatile than Tefnut. Next, with the release of Evil Swarms in the TCG, and of course Ophion, running Tefnut is very dangerous since Ophion does block Tefnut completely, and I don't want to take that risk. The last, and I think which is the most important reason why I think Snatcher is a lot better than Tefnut, is that you need to run that crappy normal monster, and you'll see when you're playing the deck, in like every 3 or 4 games you will draw it and it will be stuck in your hand. And again, this is important for an 8-round tournament where I don't want to instant lose a game by drawing yeah, that crappy normal, or due to drawing the crappy normal. You can definitely run Wattail over the Tyhoon, I believe it's called, for the better attack stat, but the possibility for going into a Basilicris with the Stalos and the Tyhoon, I hope I pronounced that correctly, is something why I prefer it over Wattail. Yeah, okay, I think that's pretty much it. So I'm going back on the Snatcher way, and at the moment I'm again testing a new tribute monster for the deck, and until now I'm pretty satisfied with the card, so stay tuned for that. Guys, as always, thanks for watching, and feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Litum signing out. Peace!